Girl Guides and Girl Scouts around the world. I'm Beverly Miner from Ohio in the USA. Please allow me to introduce or reintroduce you to Agnes Baden-Powell, or Powell as some say, the sister to Robert Baden-Powell, founder of the Boy Scouts. Agnes liked to be called the first Girl Guide, as she was the founder along with her brother to organize the Girl Guides, but more about that later. I want to tell you about what made Agnes the interesting woman she became before guiding. Agnes was born the 16th of December, 1858, and was a woman of many, many interests and accomplishments. Agnes would have been considered eccentric in Victorian times, and probably even today. Can you believe she amazingly had knowledge of some 11 foreign languages? She was also interested in astronomy, science, natural history, nature study, and had artistic and writing talents. She was also interested in crafts from needlework and lace making to decorative metalwork. She never received formal schooling, but she was taught at home and taught well. Agnes had 6 brothers, which I believe influenced her interests in outside activities, including bicycle gymkhana and bicycle polo, swimming and skating, camping, fishing, sailing, shooting, and tennis and golf. Bicycle gymkhana is something you might like to try with your friends. You could decorate your bicycle to ride in a parade, with the best one winning a prize. While riding your bike, you might try carrying an egg and a spoon to a goal without dropping it. That is quite a challenge. She ventured up in a hot air balloon and at one time held the air height record. She assisted her older brother Baden with his hot air balloon business by sewing the silk balloons for the baskets. Among her musical interests were playing the organ, the piano, and the violin. And although not officially trained, she had the abilities of a nurse. It was said she was also a good cook and housekeeper. And besides keeping bees in her home, she kept butterflies and raised birds. Agnes helped alter the way society saw the role of girls and enabled them to accomplish things previously considered only for boys and men. Being a woman of such wide interests, Agnes would almost certainly have been interested in her brother's scouting activities. In 1908, she started a Boy Scout troop in hopes of finding a man to take it over. She felt strongly that girls should have the benefit of something similar, a corps of girls trained to act in emergencies, and she started a Girls' Emergency Corps. In 1909, after 2 rallies, the first one in Scotland and the better known one at the Crystal Palace, girls were demanding to be allowed to join the Scouts. Over 6,000 girls had registered with the Boy Scouts. Since the girls were already practicing their own form of scouting, Sir Robert asked his sister Agnes to help him organize the Girl Guides. Together they published a pamphlet A and pamphlet B, which preceded the original handbook, How Girls Can Help Build the Empire, the first Girl Guide handbook. One of the activities the pamphlets included, besides directions on how to start Girl Guides, was a list of 20 badges girls could earn, which would earn them the Silver Fish Award, the highest award in girl guiding. The award was considered a sign of a girl who could make her way upstream. The Silver Fish Award was later designated as the highest adult award in girl guiding for outstanding service. Along with Agnes, Juliet Lowe received the Silver Fish. In 1910, Agnes and her friends formed a committee to organize the guides. With Agnes as president of the Girl Guide Association, she borrowed from her brother 100 pounds, which today would amount to over 7,000 pounds or $10,000 in US. They rented a room in the Boy Scouts headquarters in London, and in the first month they registered 8,000 girls, including original 6,000 into companies. Among the first companies were the ones from Edinburgh. Juliet Lowe, founder of the American Girl Scouts and a friend with both Agnes and Robert, in 1911 personally invited the girls living near her Scotland home to join in weekly meetings. Juliet also started more Girl Guide companies in London before returning to Savannah in 1912 to start the Girl Guides in the United States, later to be called Girl Scouts. In 1915, a charter was granted to the Girl Guide Association, but for a time it looked as if the new organization would have to be taken over by the Boy Scouts. In 1920, Agnes resigned as president in favor of Princess Mary, who was an active supporter of the Girl Guides. Agnes became vice president and continued in that position until her death. As vice president, she was always active, traveling in uniform, camping under canvas tents with the girls, writing articles, particularly for the Girl Guides Gazette. She deserved credit for facing the prejudice of her time against women in public and against the very idea of an organization like Girl Guides. However, events changed dramatically for Agnes after Robert married Olive in December of 1912. Under Robert's approval, Olive began to take control and eventually leadership of the organization. She systematically moved Agnes to less influential positions. Eventually, she removed Agnes from all and barred her from guide functions and dismissed her from all official roles. But Agnes, being Agnes, she persevered when Olive prevented her admission to the 1924 World Conference of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts, held at the historic Foxleys in Lyndhurst, England. Since she was unable to be inside the grounds, she walked the perimeter of the fence, talking to others, especially the Americans, including Juliet Lowe. Agnes died on the 2nd of June, 1945, at the age of 86, and buried in a plot at Kensal Green Cemetery in North London, with her mother, father, and several other family members. Since she was the last of the family to pass away, her name has never been engraved on the monument. Agnes Baden-Powell was one-of-a-kind woman. Girl Guides and Girl Scouts around the world should be thankful for her being part of the greatest organization for girls. Without her, guiding and scouting would never have become the success that it is today.